Right, you guys, November 5th is almost here, and in your House district, you've got two candidates running to be your next state representative, and much of this will determine who controls the Minnesota House before it's all done. I'm going to break down very quickly for you where both of these candidates stand on the issue of life, abortion, things like that. Again, I'm Ben Dorr, Executive Director with Minnesota Right to Life, and I'm not going to waste any of your time. I'm going to jump right in. Okay, so first we want to talk about Drew Roach. He is the Republican running, and the first thing you need to know about Drew is that he filled out his Minnesota Right to Life candidate questionnaire 100% pro-life. We asked him all of the important questions on this issue, and he answered all of them correctly. In particular, he says that he's opposed, let's fix that, how about this? Well, he's opposed to minors getting abortions in the state of Minnesota. In particular, it's legal now for minors to get abortions without anybody even having to tell their mom or dad. He thinks that's outrageous. We do too. And he is opposed to minors getting abortions. That can be abused so badly. We've seen so many times as girls who don't want to kill their babies are pushed into abortion clinics to take care of the problem. And if mom and dad have to be notified, there's a chance that the girl gets the help she needs and baby gets a chance at life, right? There's other options. Doesn't have to be abortion. So Drew Roach is opposed to minors getting abortions. He's opposed to taxpayer funding for abortions. The left, like Ian English, the left loves to sit here and say, get out of our bedrooms and out of our houses, right? Keep your hands to yourselves. None of your damn business, right? They like to say these things, but then at the same time, they reach into our pockets, your pockets, and they pull your money out to pay for abortions. Whether you like it or not, doesn't matter what your religious beliefs are. They're going to do it, and if you don't like it, if you don't pay your taxes, you're going to jail. So it's so on the nose, the hypocrisy, and Drew Roach sees that and says that he's opposed to forcing Minnesotans to pay for abortions, whether they like it or not. He also supports defunding Planned Parenthood, and Planned Parenthood is, without a doubt, the largest killer of unborn babies in the entire state of Minnesota, by far, and nationwide. They should not be receiving our tax dollars because on top of performing these abortions, they get our tax money and then they turn around and give humongous donations to the Democrat Party, who turns around and gives them more tax dollars, and the cycle continues. Okay, so he supports defunding Planned Parenthood, and that's why Drew Roach gets an AQ rating with Minnesota Right to Life. The only reason it's not an A rating is because Drew hasn't held office and had a chance to vote pro-life yet. So he gets the highest rating that he can get without holding office and voting pro-life yet, because he answered all of the questions correctly and is a proud supporter of women, of the right to life, and of doing the right thing by the taxpayers of Minnesota as well. So if you see Drew out on the campaign trail, be sure to give him a big thank you. Next, we have Ian English is the Democrat running against Drew Roach. Now, Ian, the first thing you should know about him, he refused to fill out his Minnesota Right to Life candidate questionnaire, wouldn't touch it. But we've done our due diligence, and it's clear that Ian is a supporter of abortion. They call it women's rights. It's abortion, and the law that was passed in 2023 allows abortion up to the moment of birth, all the way, okay, all 9 months. More than that, again, House File 1 allows minors to get abortions without even having to talk to their mom or dad. Ian English supports this legislation and would have been a yes vote if he had been in office at the time. He supports taxpayer-funded abortions, And I think it's accurate to say that every single Democrat voted for the taxpayer-funded abortion bill this last time around. See, what happens is the Health and Human Services omnibus bill gets loaded down with abortion funding. And Drew Roach opposes that. Now you might say, well, isn't that pretty standard? Don't all Republicans oppose that? The answer to that question is no. There are dozens and dozens of Republicans at the Capitol who have absolutely voted yes on taxpayer-funded abortions. Okay? Happens every 2 years, and a lot of them line up to make it happen. Drew Roach says, not me. Doesn't matter if the Democrats are in charge or the Republicans, not doing it. Ian English, the entire DFL caucus in the Minnesota House voted for this legislation. Ian English would absolutely join them if he makes it up there. And that's why we're convinced that Ian English would be an absolute enemy of the pro-life cause and would join the rest of the radical Metro Minneapolis leftists in continuing the attack on the babies. And the fact of the matter is, in 2023, the most outrageous, extreme abortion laws in the entire country were passed in the state of Minnesota. And people like Ian English would stand up there and applaud that and helped to make that happen. So that's why Ian English gets an F rating from Minnesota Right to Life. And that is the information we have, you guys. November 5th is almost here. Get your friends, your family, your neighbors. Everybody needs to go to the polls. This is a very, very important election, not just federally, but control of the Minnesota House also rests with the voters of Minnesota this year. Okay? Right now, we have a DFL trifecta, and the voters have a chance to change that. And that's why everybody needs to get out and vote pro-life.